we're in a new environment today. We're at the Stress Factory Comedy Club, which is where we started all those years ago. And so we're back home.
We are back home. We started during the pandemic.
No, we started, what are you talking about? We started in 1994.
No, dummy. I mean, you and I with the podcast.
Oh, yeah. I was talking about our entire lives.
Dumb.
Well, I don't think it's dumb. Yeah, you're right. We started the podcast. You know what's funny? We can talk about it now. We started the podcast and we immediately broke the rules. We had people in the room.
Yes, but we had them separated. We tried to keep it under so many numbers, and we tried to make sure it was never on camera.
Yeah, no, we never got them on camera. And by the way, you need to flash right now. This is just opinion, not fact.
Yeah, opinion.
So we don't get flagged.
Not
because
fact.
because it's all, you see them. It's starting to seep its way right back in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Fauci's in the news again, and I don't know about you, but I don't know that anyone will go back. It's just an opinion.
Yes. I will say there is a couple things that make me really laugh. And listen, during the time we followed the rules. I'm a big rule follower.
I did not always follow the rules, but I always looked like I followed the rules.
Yeah.
I gave the appearance of being a rule follower whenever, and I followed a lot of the rules.
Right.
Right? A lot of the rules I had to follow.
So I just went to pick up subs the other day for you and Cassie at Jersey Mike's. And there's a woman working, and this blows my mind because I understood it when the regulations were in place and it was the way people said, you know what? F you, I'm not doing it. And they wore their masks like this.
Or they wore a bandana.
Right.
They looked like they were constantly trying to rob a stagecoach.
Right. But now, if you're doing it, I don't understand. Like, are you worried that your breath is going to fall? Like, I don't understand it. Because a woman working at Jersey Mike had a mask on. Nobody else had a mask on. She was the only one. And it was here. I don't understand it. Like, why? And I have to say, for me, I was watching a TV show. I think it was some hospital show that I started watching when I was working out. And I stopped watching because they started covering COVID in the masks. And I was like, I do not want to relive that, dude. I don't. I don't want to watch any show that has masks on. Sorry, I'm checking out.
You know what bothers me? This is what bothers me. All right. So the first time COVID caught us with our proverbial pants down.
Yes.
All right. And the hospitals were overrun and blah, 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 blah. All right. Now, we had to have this massive reaction. Some people have the opinion that it was an overreaction. Okay. Some people have that opinion. And so we shut down everything, and we shut down everything. We shut down outdoor parks, for God's sake.
Yeah, that was so stupid.
Shut down everything. And it was because we weren't ready. And now here we are, 3 years later. Let me ask you something. What have the power that be done to get us ready for the next? Have they built out hospital beds? No. They've done nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. You know what I've done, though? Secretly, without even telling you, I have cases of toilet paper. Stashed, because that's the only thing you can do is get ready for the shitstorm that's going to happen when they decide to kick it all back up again.
No pun intended.
All pun intended. All 100% pun intended. Here's the thing. It's so irritating to me that we just, and look what's happening now. I don't care if you love or hate Trump or Biden. I don't care. Doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Are you telling me these are the best two people we have?
Oh, it seems so unlikely.
I know there are 85 people in my life right now that I don't like that would be better. 85 people that 85. I despise. Huh?
85, that's a big number.
Yeah, you know, Vicki, we talked about this the other day privately. We'll talk about it a little bit here today. So what I'm saying is, you know, here comes COVID again. I'm not going in. I'm not taking. You know, yesterday I had to do court. For a traffic. I don't want to say what town.
Right. And they did say, they made the announcement, we are virtual due to the COVID crisis. What?
Yeah.
What?
Virtual court.
What?
Yes. And listen, I was very pleased with the outcome.
Yes, it worked out in your favor.
The court was run well. It was timely. Yeah. For all intents and purposes, I have zero problem. But are you shitting me that we're still doing that remotely? By the way, what they should have said is, at the very beginning, We found out that remote court is more convenient to everybody.
Right. Like, I feel like if you're honest, it's like when one of Cassie's practices get canceled and they say, due to the extreme heat, we're canceling practice.
Right.
But in actuality, they'd already told the girls they had a conflict.
Yeah.
Like, just be honest, man. Just be honest.
Be
like,
honest.
I can't make it. I got something going on.
Just be honest.
So court works better because everybody shows up. We're not wasting anybody's time. Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to see. This is the only thing I want to see. I look at the whole thing like one big episode of Yellowstone. I can't see how it turned out. I can't wait to see how each party, there's only 2 parties, right?
Yeah.
There should be 20, but there are 2. I want to see how they play it.
Yeah.
Right? In other words, is one party going to get right back into, you got to do it, or are they just going to say, listen, all bets are off?
Right.
I don't know how they're going to play it. It's intriguing to me how they're going to play it, but I am also tired of it being played.
Right.
So, no, you didn't have to interrupt us. Do you need to interrupt us? No. So, now I will also say this. There are so many. Why do you think they're here? Why do you think they're here?
I don't know.
They know we're doing something.
I don't know.
Why do they come in here?
I don't know.
You know what it is? That's that fascination with let's interrupt Vinnie. There's a fascination in this company. Whenever I'm doing something, they need to interrupt me. They interrupt me for no reason. Noah is the only one that won't interrupt me because no one knows what Noah does for his hours every week. I know he does a lot of surfing, and then all of a sudden, okay, so I don't know exactly.
He really does look like. Look at Noah though. Look at him.
Yeah,
he looks like an oversized 5-year-old. He really does. Like he's getting ready to go to preschool, maybe kindergarten.
Yeah, he looks like
kindergarten. Kindergarten. He's getting ready to kindergarten. He's got a little backpack.
Yeah, I can't wait till the surf goes away. And so we can get Noah back to 35 hours of actual work.
Yeah.
You know what I did? I put a tracker on his car.
Oh, that's so smart.
Put a tracker on his car.
You know what you should? Yeah, you put an air tag right on him. Like the little kids, they do.
Don't think I won't do that.
I know.
I would 100% sneak an air tag and watch Noah spending an inordinate amount of time in Asbury Park at a beach. Oh, I'm working. Okay, so.
All right, so Peter has.
Wait, before we get into that.
What?
We got to get into Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers. They've got 4 snaps. What? Could you please Google what before I get into this? The guy took, and listen, you can love or hate Aaron Rodgers, love or hate the Jets. It was a big story.
Yeah.
This is Aaron Rodgers coming from the Green Bay Packers to the New York Jets, opening night against Josh Allen, another great quarterback. This is a big story. And we're going to find out how much the Jets paid him. And on the 4th snap, it looks like he, is that what they call it? Ruptured Achilles tendon? Whatever happened.
No, you tear your Achilles tendon.
Whatever happened.
Right?
It is confirmed that he did tear his Achilles.
Yeah, he did tear it.
A torn Achilles. And that'll be a season ending.
That is a season ending. That is. You
know what I wonder too? Google this for me. Does it hurt when you tear your Achilles?
I think it hurts like hell.
I got to tell you something.
I'm almost positive that's because in the Achilles tendon, it's a very thick tendon. It's very thick. So when you tear it, I believe that's quite painful.
I can tell you this. You look at him on the field.
Right.
If it's painful, he is tough. Because he just looked irritated. He didn't look like he was in pain.
It's painful. You can even see it, like, if you see that replay, it snaps and, like, recoils.
That's what I saw.
Calf. Yeah, but I'd imagine that in, like, the heat of the moment, because that was right after, it was 4 plays into the game. Game just started, debut with the Jets. He just ran out with the flag. It was 9/11. It was this whole big thing. His adrenaline must have been at 100. And then he pops his Achilles. So he probably didn't, like, feel the entire extent of it until he got back in the locker room. But he is tough.
I'm going to tell you something. He, sitting on the field, you didn't see it.
No.
This is his face on the field. He was just annoyed.
Right. But, I mean, how happy are you, which I said to you this morning, if you're that quarterback that they brought in to
Zach Wilson
to essentially replace Zach Wilson.
Well, you're not a football guy. So let me explain to you.
I don't know, but I understand replacement. I think that's a human emotion. You're getting replaced for your job.
No, you don't understand. Zach Wilson was the quarterback that they brought Aaron Rodgers in to replace. Zach Wilson has had a couple difficult.
Right, but he was on the Jets before.
Right.
Right. So they didn't bring in Zach Wilson to replace Aaron Rodgers. They brought Aaron Rodgers in to replace Zach Wilson.
I just said that.
No, you just said the opposite.
No. What I'm saying is they brought Aaron Rodgers in onto the team.
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
No, you're not. You said,
Am I saying it?
no, you said it backwards. They brought Aaron Rodgers in. Okay, the Jets have an organization.
Yes.
Don't say yes again. They bring Aaron Rodgers in.
Yes.
Stop saying that.
You can't stop me.
They brought him in.
The more you tell me no, the more
And then
I'm
on
gonna
the
do it.
fourth snap, they're like, bring that guy back.
Yes.
Right. And then
That's
this
what
morning,
I'm saying. That's why he's got to be so
I
happy.
swear to God, there's going to be a problem. I'll tell you, you're about to tell your Achilles, and I will bring Peter in. Now, here's the thing. And Peter, I won't. Don't get excited. So I just go without a quarterback. So now this morning,
Yeah.
I can't say the coach's name. Saya?
Sala.
Huh?
Sala.
Sala?
Like challah bread, but Sala.
Okay. Sala?
Allah.
Masala.
Allah.
Yeah. He said they're going to sign a quarterback right away. Now, whoever they sign, there's some quarterbacks out there they could sign.
Still
And-
not the other guy who stepped in last night and won the game for
Well,
everybody.
What I don't know is I don't know the depth chart. If they have three quarterbacks, then there would have been Aaron Rodgers, Zach Wilson, and whoever that third guy is. Now you only have two guys if there were three to begin with. So now, are they going to sign another starter? And is Zach going to have to fight for his job? He did okay. He didn't light the field up.
They don't have a third quarterback because last night they were saying how if Zach Wilson got hurt, they were going to have to bring in an emergency quarterback, so like an out of position player to throw the ball.
Okay, so that's the issue.
Yeah.
So now they'll either sign, they'll look for someone who's not playing currently, but I don't even know how you go about that process. Like, there's got to be some undrafted or on waivers or some other quarterback out there.
It's any Dennis Quaid movie, Vinny. Like he's on a field, working on a farm. Let's call Dennis. Let's call him. Come back from retirement, mister.
Yeah, you're right.
I know
about
you
that.
had a drinking problem. I know, things were tough. Your wife left you. You had a gambling problem. Bring it on back.
Maybe. Is Rudy out there?
I
Rudy's probably dead, right?
don't know.
They said that Tom Brady was going to come out of retirement for the Jets.
Oh, Tom
Are
Brady.
they really saying that?
They are saying. I don't know who they are, but they're
He
saying.
owns the Raiders.
I got to tell you something right now. It can't be Tom Brady. Because at first when Aaron Rodgers got hurt, now he had taken 4 snaps. I think he got hit twice, right? In the first 4 snaps. So I was joking last night before I knew the extent of the injury that he just said, you know what, I'm going to sit this one out. The offensive line was porous already. I mean, I know that the Daniel Jones, who quarterbacks what team, Vicki?
I don't know who Daniel Jones is. It sounds like he should be maybe a writer or a columnist or something.
A colonist?
Yeah, Daniel Jones. It just sounds like someone like that was like helped make the colonies way back.
Okay,
when.
I want to make sure you didn't mean to say columnist.
No.
All right. So it's funny you said that because someone else said that Daniel Jones, who's the quarterback of the Giants, looks like Disney's version of an AI white quarterback.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't even know who Daniel Jones is.
He's
so.
a quarterback of the Giants, good looking, tough as nails. His neck is super thick. In any event, he got sacked 7 times on Sunday.
Is that bad?
Yeah, that's bad. Your quarterback should not be hit 7
Oh,
times.
where's my Footballs for Dummies book? I was going to read that last year. I never got around to it.
All I'm saying is,
Yeah.
that I don't know who's going to quarterback for the Jets, but Daniel Jones is going to need a replacement too if they continue to hit him like they did.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Peter. Wasn't the person who poisoned all those people, what was that guy's name? Jones? What was his name?
Jim Jones.
Jim Jones. That's right, Jim Jones.
Why are you going to that?
I don't know. It just
That's
popped in
shovel.
my head. What were you going to say, Peter?
I was going to bring up, so there's a kind of like a big issue in the NFL right now anyway with like the turf versus grass fields. And their big thing is that the players all say grass fields are better. There are less injuries. It's easier on your lower half of your body, your knees, your legs, your Achilles. The Giants and the Jets, they just had their stadium replaced with this new like ultra safe turf. And within 4 snaps, the star quarterback of the Jets pops his Achilles.
That's
so
interesting.
It's kind of like this weird thing where now everyone's like, well, see, there is no safe turf.
Well, safe turf is supposed to tear, right? It's supposed to come up.
It's supposed to pop more because you'll see, like, even in the Giants game against Dallas the other day, like you saw Daniel Jones, he was covered in the turf pellets.
Yeah, but
it pops more. So you have like more of that stuff, and it's supposed
give.
to be
It's got to have
easier.
give.
Yes, yeah. It has give, and there's I think more of those pellets.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I will tell you this. So last night's game fell on a tragic anniversary, September 11th.
Yeah,
I always feel weird doing anything on September 11th, particularly if it's festive.
Yes.
Now, playing the Jets game, with Aaron Rodgers coming out with a flag, it felt good.
Mm-hmm.
Coaches wearing FDNY or FD Fire Department or NYPD hats. And that all felt good. The problem is, it is September 11th. And, in our country now, we've become so callous and so ridiculous that big companies do asinine things that just blow your mind. So apparently DraftKings, which is a sports book, okay, gambling is enormous.
Right.
And I imagine that DraftKings thought it would be a great idea to have a 9/11 themed parlay promotion. They promoted New York teams. So you could bet on New York teams in a parlay, which means you bet all 3 of them. And if all 3 win, you win more money. Themed around 9/11, meaning, New York was the biggest impacted area. Certainly the Pentagon was impacted as well. But so that I can't even believe that someone at DraftKings pitched this idea. And now listen, I'll tell you, you have to find out for me. Just Google it without commentary. Is DraftKings an American-owned company? Because I can't. So somebody at DraftKings said, this is a good idea. We'll theme and we'll promote 9/11.
It makes the Bud Light executives really, that's child play comparatively.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think you won't be enough blowback. There won't be enough blowback because the people using DraftKings are more addicted likely to gambling than they are to their country.
Right.
So while there may be some blowback, it won't impact on the bottom line. Now, my cousin invites me to play DraftKings after you do your fantasy football, which all of that, by the way, all of it, fantasy football, all of it is the most ludicrous thing. I know that I'm not manly in a lot of ways when it comes to gambling, smoking cigars, and prostitutes. But the point I'm trying to make here is that fantasy football, I've played a couple times. It's too much work. I have to draft a team. I got shit to do. And so it doesn't matter to me. But how disconnected do you have to be to work 9/11 into your marketing campaign?
Yeah, that really is crazy.
It's insanity.
It's really.
Well, advertising in general now. You talk about Dylan Mulvaney. Is that the name?
Dylan Mulvaney.
Did I get it right?
Yeah.
So, Dylan Mulvaney, that blow up with Budweiser. Again, you look out at your customer base.
Right.
And you say, let me see if these folks wouldn't mind a good old transsexual pitchman. Now, you have to understand, right, from a marketing perspective,
right?
If it didn't matter, it wouldn't matter.
Right.
Meaning, then anybody, you would never pay big name people to pitch your shit.
Right.
Right? Mint Mobile appealed to me because Ryan Reynolds is cute.
Right.
That's it. I said it. I meant it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why people drink this whiskey, because I'm adorable. All right. Now, the point I'm trying to make is that all of these advertisers, I don't know who's studying marketing, and you're hiring morons.
It just seems beyond insensitive to the victims. It seems beyond insensitive. This is to a much different degree, but in the same vein, where people were having a real problem with the explosion of the Jeffery Dahmer Halloween costume.
Right.
because people were saying that's insensitive to the people he ate. Like it's just
what parent says
Yeah.
you're going out of Jeffrey Dahmer?
right. I know, but that's what I mean. Like this is so insensitive.
Don't you think too, if your kid's out there at Jeffrey Dahmer, that his next birthday party is going to be poorly attended? I mean,
I don't know. Like if there's a kid dressed up as Jeffrey Dahmer, I'm looking at him a little differently.
That's what I'm trying to say. If you go out of Jeffrey Dahmer, you would not send Cassie to the Jeffrey Dahmer themed party. And this DraftKings thing, how much blowback? Did they get a lot of blowback?
Yeah, they took it down within an hour, I think. But it went up and immediately it was all over online. And people didn't think it was real. Like everyone assumed it was like a Photoshop thing. Everyone rushed to DraftKings and were like, how did they actually do this? And it got taken down right away. They issued an apology, saying yeah, we have respect for the victims. We want to make that clear. But I mean, they were trying to profit off because more likely, the parlay lost. The Mets lost, so therefore they would have made a lot of money.
So Peter, you're offended. You're offended mostly because the parlay lost.
Yeah, I think. I took it. I gambled it. I took the risk. Why wouldn't you? But
do you gamble? Do you sports gamble?
No, my friends do very heavily, but I don't gamble.
So I gamble on a lot of things, right? I gamble on a lot of things, but not money.
On prostitutes. Well, not enough though. Not enough. You haven't dipped your toe enough into that pool. You've said.
Listen, let's face facts.
Yeah.
While I am a manly man, I don't do any manly things.
I'm sorry. This is a school. It was one of those recorded things.
I knew it because, our school, just a quick side note, they cost nonstop with unnecessary announcements. Okay. So, Vic, what's the announcement?
Well, I had to make sure because I sent a letter home for Cassie to go home with Anna.
Oh, my God. All right. So, anyway.
You know what? You had to pee. I didn't go like this.
Yeah, because I would have wet my pants and you would have had wet feet.
Well,
let me say this.
I have to answer for my child.
I want heads to roll at DraftKings. I will not be happy until someone's head rolls. And by the way, I have a kid at University of Michigan looking for an internship that would have never made that mistake. Never made that mistake because she's a bright kid.
Yeah.
All right. And wherever you got that individual, all right, that decadent individual needs to roll, and Tabby Brand needs to fill those shoes.
I hear you.
Or me. By the way, I'm an unbelievable marketer. When it comes, I would never make that mistake. That's why I don't get my politics out of the bag. When we talk about the club, I never get my politics out of the bag because it doesn't matter which side you're on. The other half will stop going here, right? So, like I've said 100 times.
But you don't care if you tank some friendships. Because then the politics come right out.
What friendship have I tanked?
Well, not yet. But I've said to you, I've given you strict instructions not to talk politics when we're out. And you have claimed that some people have brought up the politics to you when in all likelihood, because I'm friends with the same people, they've never once talked politics to me, that you seem to be the common denominator.
I will admit.
Yes, I know you. You just start the little convo.
No, I only begin what I call corrective action plan conversations.
Oh, corrective action plan conversations.
Yes. When I know someone's politics are so askew that they need a corrective intervention, a corrective action plan, I'm actually trying to save that.
Okay.
Right. It's just, that's the only time.
What would Vinnie do?
Yeah, well, that's what everyone should be asking.
What would Vinnie do?
Okay, now just be honest.
The worldwide Vinnie.
Just be honest with one thing. Just and be honest. Don't try and be funny. Be honest. If everyone did what I told them to do, wouldn't things be better? Wouldn't they?
We'd be in a communist state.
But it would be so organized.
We would be in an incredibly communist state.
No, because I believe in profits. We wouldn't be communist. It would be authoritarian.
A dictatorship. It would be a dictatorship.
Yes, a benevolent dictatorship centered around commerce, a capitalist dictatorship. They would make me a king. I would be the king, and it would be great. Okay, I would immediately run a better world. Let's get to our next subject.
All right.
Are you done with?
Yeah, I'm done.
What would you?
I would have never have done that. That's terrible.
Yeah, close out that conversation.
Yeah.
You think someone's head should roll?
Yeah, I mean, I really do. I just think that was such a poor idea. But in a decision like that doesn't happen in a vacuum. So there's other people that said, yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
When is the time limit? When is the time, what's the time that has to pass? For example, I still wouldn't make a Pearl Harbor joke.
Well, I was just about to say that. You don't celebrate Vietnam. You don't celebrate what happened in Vietnam. Like, no, there's no
time limit.
There's no time limit. I mean, we've gone to, I'm blanking on that name of that white ship in Pearl Harbor.
The USS
Arizona.
Arizona.
Thank you. Yes.
Now the school's calling me with the same ridiculous announcement.
So the USS Arizona.
Yes.
And it's a very somber place we go.
Is it the Arizona?
Yeah, it's the Arizona, isn't it? It's the Arizona.
Jesus, we should know that. Huh?
I'm positive it's the Arizona.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yes, I'm right.
Well, you were throwing me off. The Missouris where they signed the peace treaty.
No.
And they should have signed it, by the way. Should have been signed on the USS New Jersey. Mm-hmm. It was signed in Missouri. Do you know why?
No.
President Truman was from Missouri.
Oh.
The USS New Jersey was the most decorated battleship in World War II, and that's where they should have signed the peace treaty, but they signed it in Missouri in deference to Harry Truman. No. In any event, we don't make jokes about Pearl Harbor.
No.
To me, 9/11 jokes, a couple of comedians made jokes last night. Not my cup of tea.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I agree.
That's absolutely terrible.
I also think I don't think it's particularly, I think that's a shock value joke, right? Mm-hmm. And, listen, everyone handles the tragedy in their own way, but to me, I don't think that's, you shouldn't market it. I'm not ready for jokes about it.
No.
I don't make jokes about Lincoln.
What?
Yeah, the Lincoln assassination.
What?
Well, people make jokes about the Lincoln. I don't.
Let's talk about the New Jersey alligator.
Yeah, the New Jersey alligator nabbed.
That's it? That's all you're going to say?
No.
You know what I thought, honestly, when this happened? I want to move to Florida. I've made no secret of that. I'm in a moving to Florida group. I'm in moving out of New Jersey groups. Just can't get you on board. But I thought, wow, alligators start popping up here and we have those mini tornadoes. Maybe it'll get you acclimated and you'll just want to move. Yeah.
It's not an acclimation that I don't want to move that. I keep explaining to you, our businesses are here. But you know what's funny? You don't go in on a Friday night like I do. So I'll be the jackass getting on a plane every Friday, flying to New Jersey to work. Or Connecticut.
Yeah. So, but you know that if it's a 3 to 4 foot long alligator, some idiot had that as a pet and then just said, I can't take care of it anymore. Let me release it. And I know that they know that if someone hadn't caught it, it was going to die because it can't survive the winter.
Right. I don't understand why people have this affinity toward activities and ownership of items that have it can't end well.
No.
I don't understand owning alligators. Mm-hmm. Sometimes people own tigers. I don't understand neck tattoos. I don't understand
neck tattoos.
So many bad decisions. I don't know how you sit down and go, alligator. That's what I want to have in New Jersey or anywhere.
Right.
Now, if you had a gigantic conservation area and you said, I'm going to try and protect alligators, which don't need protection. Okay, right? Tiger King, which was fascinating at the beginning of the pandemic, was kind of a zoo, kind of a commercial property, kind of a...
But I understand tigers
to own them
more than I do alligators because when I went to visit my mom a couple years ago and my brother was there, my mom and my brother went on one of those alligator boat rides. And beforehand, they have like a little like Q&A about the alligators. And according to them, at no point can an alligator be a good pet. Like at no point. It's not on the table. They won't ever domesticate.
The brain of an alligator is rumored to be smaller than Noah's.
No,
And
yeah.
What's the quote in Waterboy? The medulla oblongata?
Alligators are aggressive because of an enlarged medulla oblongata. It's the sector of the brain which controls aggressive behavior.
That is correct. The medulla oblongata.
Mama
The
said.
medulla oblongata.
So an alligator brain has no
Mhm.
capacity for compassion, empathy, or long-term learning.
No.
All it knows is, I'm hungry, eat that.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yep.
It's considered one of the dumbest animals,
Mhm.
or one of them, I should say rudimentary, not dumb, rudimentary. And again, how do you say, I'm looking for a pet?
Yeah.
Now, I get it.
Where do they even sell alligators? Like, I know growing up, you would see it occasionally at a pet store, but that was, back when there weren't rules and regulations.
Right.
Where can you buy an alligator now?
I think it's mostly through from Tiger King. You see there are these exotic animal dealers, these people who just kind of wheel and deal in this stuff. There aren't it's all illegal pretty much
Just
in every
Google,
state.
is it legal to buy an alligator?
It's not New Jersey.
No, anywhere.
Oh, anywhere?
I think that the answer to your question is, it's always, where do you buy heroin? There's always some scumbag that'll sell you what you need.
Mhm.
And, if you look at heroin as a product and you're a young kid, you're going to go into marketing. Heroin doesn't seem to be a good choice, right? I mean,
No.
no.
Mm-mm.
And yet there are people that sell heroin and they're buyers for heroin. So as someone that wants an alligator probably overpays for an alligator.
Yeah, I would think so.
Because you can't go to Alligators R Us.
Right. What is the going rate to buy an alligator?
Can I guess too? I'm going
Mhm.
to say a baby alligator, $1,000.
I was thinking 800. Well, how much?
So there are some states where it's legal to own it. There's some that are more regulated than others. You can purchase a baby alligator for prices ranging $149 to $169.
It's
They're
pretty
cheap.
cheap.
It's cheaper than a Labrador. Now I understand.
Right.
Why? Now I get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Much more persuasive. Now, I'll tell you when I would own alligators. You know what would be fun to own alligators? I'll tell you when.
When you don't want people on your property?
Yeah. If I
I
had a
knew
moat.
you.
I-
I knew it.
A moat. That would be,
Uh-huh.
right? You fill a moat with alligators, pull the bridge up,
Mm-hmm.
have at it.
Is
Mhm.
this
Have at it.
this is when you're king, right? In your brand. King?
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yes. Noah just made his way into my court and not as the court jester, which I thought he would be. No, he's in my security court,
Mhm.
which, by the way, we're going to go off a little off topic here on the alligators, but it's on topic. Again, about bad decisions and the decisions people make. I really sometimes, I want to, it'd be fascinating to me to have a TV show if you could get people to really say how and why they made that decision. Did you see in North Jersey, the guy in Ledgewood, I think it was, the group of guys that decided to rob a bunch of ATVs, all-terrain vehicles,
Right.
and they knew it was coming.
How did they know it was coming?
I don't know.
That's that part of the story I didn't understand. So why don't you back up? So
No, you got to tell it.
it was, they recorded it. They knew they were going to be robbed by a group of individuals. They had the cameras ready. They had police, I guess, on standby waiting to just get robbed. These gentlemen come to rob their ATVs, and the police, they all get arrested. And it looks like a bunch of videos from like America's Funniest Videos, all the bloopers, because like the guys are falling, they're pushing each other out of the way,
Trying to escape.
trying to escape.
The only way that they would know, right? Somebody in the group,
Somebody in the crew. It's called
in
the
the
crew.
crew, in the crew, somebody in the crew
Mhm.
was in trouble,
Mhm.
and they rolled it up. They
Yeah, sure.
literally said to the cops, "Look, I know something's going to go down. I need a deal." That's the only way,
Yeah.
and that's how that happened.
Yeah.
Somebody in that crew
hmm
got a deal,
Or somebody's like old lady.
or someone's old lady.
Somebody's old lady. Mhm.
Vicki, we are not the
Mhm.
the references. So somebody
Bingo.
rolled up on that.
Yeah.
But I want to go, like, I would love to be able to go sit with all those guys and say, look, you're caught dead to rights. You're going to get whatever. Tell us what was going through your mind.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think? Now, of course, they all thought the same thing. They're going to buy these, they're going to sell them, and they're going to make money.
Right.
But how much money could you have made doing that?
Right.
I mean, there were 20 guys.
Yeah.
If you got 20 vehicles, it's how much are you going to really get?
Right.
And it's fascinating to me. And the alligator thing is fascinating to me. Now, the guy who got the alligator, and it's a guy. Let's face facts. The alligator, it's a guy.
Yeah.
All right. And this is what, we talk about the emotional quotient of men versus women and why. It's very rare that a woman says, I got a bunch of my girls together. We're going to go knock off an ATV shop.
Yeah. You don't really hear that very often.
There are women in criminal enterprises.
Yeah.
But there's never a group of women that go out and commit crimes. It's always a bunch of guys.
Mm-hmm.
Always. And so you have to wonder what they were thinking. It's fascinating to me. What do you think goes through the head?
I really, quick buck and that's it. Like they think they're going to get away with it.
We talk about this because women have a higher emotional quotient. They're more apt to fight, but they're more intelligent than men. Men are smashers of things. And so these guys decide to rob the ATV. Some guy decides to have an alligator. Some guy gets a neck tattoo. It's all the same inability to think forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some guy spends all his time surfing instead of working. It's the inability to think and know you're going to get busted.
Yeah, I hear you. I agree with you. So let's move on.
Final topic, maybe.
To
right?
the final. But I think that Jimmy Fallon will be the final one. I feel like we should hold on to this stuff.
You can lead off here. I'm irritated by this whole story.
About the Jimmy Fallon story?
I am.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a high-pressure job. He's live 4 or 5 nights a week.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me that they're saying that it's a stressful job and that it's not fun to work there. I mean, that kind of pressure, those kind of ratings. And I think it's probably not just Jimmy Fallon putting that kind of pressure on everybody. I feel like overall, there's such a high competition in the late night realm between Jimmy Fallon, the other Jimmy, Kimmel, thank you.
Well, I don't know any of them. I met Fallon one time very briefly. I don't know Kimmel.
I just know that the Jimmy Fallon ride at Universal sucks. It's terrible. It's terrible. You wait in that long line. It's the worst ride ever at Universal. I'm just saying. I'm just giving my opinion.
So somewhere tonight, Jimmy Fallon's going to get word of this podcast. He's going to be in a writer's room tomorrow screaming at someone, I told you that ride needed more dips and turns.
I would love it because then we would get some views on our podcast.
Well,
anyway, but that he scolded staff in front of Seinfeld, and then Seinfeld is saying that didn't happen. But public Seinfeld is not going to say what really happened.
Okay, here's the gig. All right. I'm not at all surprised that any employer in this current environment doesn't walk in and throw a French fry at somebody. All right.
Just because you've done it doesn't make it right.
I did it. And I admit it. It wasn't my best moment. And in retrospect, if I had just a half a second more, I would have dipped it in ketchup. It would have made it that much worse, which I didn't do.
Right.
But,
and according to one of my children that were working that day, right afterwards, you said, Mom's going to be mad at me.
I did say that.
Yeah.
I did that. But that French fry needed to be thrown because it was another moment of employee just not doing the simple things, right? It was almost as bad as a bagel party. And the point I'm trying to make is
the bagel party.
The bagel party. So Jimmy Fallon had a couple of bad moments. Now, the gold standard seems to be, and I didn't do the shows, Conan.
Right.
That seems to be the gold standard. Like Conan seems to, everybody likes Conan O'Brien. And I always enjoyed watching Conan O'Brien because it really did look like he was genuinely having fun.
Right.
Fallon also looks like he's having fun. And Kimmel looks like he's having fun, but maybe dips a little bit too political. And Colbert dips too political.
Oh, both of them are too political for me. But
I would like to do either show.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
With Jimmy Fallon, though, the claim, which I have heard this for years, is that he has a drinking problem. And for the most part, people that do have drinking problems, most of them aren't jovial. Because
No,
you're
they
grumpy.
snap.
You're grumpy.
They snap.
Yeah, you're very grumpy.
Well, let me say the following. I don't even care.
No, I know.
You were working in Hollywood,
Yeah.
and someone snapped. Look, again, you're a young kid and you want to go work somewhere. What are you not paying attention to?
Right.
All right. Harvey Weinstein's touching people. Bill Cosby's dropping things in girls' drinks. The guy's just.
Well, I think that, I'm sorry to interrupt, but Bill Cosby and Jimmy Fallon, I don't think you can really compare the two. And I don't think you can compare the scenarios. Like, for the staffers that work here, I want to say, like, boo-hoo. You're choosing to work there. Knock it off. Either work there or don't work there.
Right. Shut your yap.
Shut your yap. What happened with Cosby, though, is way different, love.
Okay. What I'm saying
I
is,
just really don't think you can equate those two
okay,
things.
let me try and say it a different way because apparently you got a hair across your fanny. Let me say this. The business isn't known for being rife with good people. There's Howard, Ron Howard, Tom Hanks, Steve Martin. That's it.
Yeah.
The rest of the business is awful people. Oh, Conan. Okay, now, I'm sure Jimmy Fallon's a perfectly nice individual. He's under immense pressure. So one day he said, what the F, or whatever he did. All right. Now, to me, all of Hollywood, right? Now, Peter said earlier when I cut my commercial for Misunderstood Whiskey, he goes, man, you're just amazing how good you are. I would be this good in all environments, right? It wouldn't matter to me. I would always have a healthy disrespect for what we do, meaning we're not saving lives.
No.
This is my problem with everybody in entertainment. They think they're moving the needle. You're not moving the needle. You know who I met that I loved? You didn't meet him yet. Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah.
I imagine working with Kelsey Grammer is amazing. Super nice guy. And of course, there are more nice people in Hollywood. Right. But don't you know it's full of difficult situations and hard people and you're fighting for millions of dollars? Listen, you want a stress-free job? Go sell tickets at the Point Pleasant Boardwalk, all right? Go run the Scrambler, okay? Get a neck tattoo. The point I'm trying to make is that I think Jimmy Fallon is probably a lovely individual. What do you think? What's your take? He's singing in cars with people. Or is that James Corden?
No, that's James Corden.
He's an asshole here.
Yeah,
Right.
I've heard.
Jimmy Fallon does something with singing. He likes to sing.
Yeah, he likes to have people do like sing-offs, right?
Yeah, the car. The Jimmy Fallon. Yeah, he has like a game show about
yeah,
singing
game
now,
show.
too.
But I mean, maybe he's drunk and just having a good time. I don't know. But
I don't think he's a drunk.
But it doesn't matter. It's been rumored for years that he is. But it doesn't matter to me because at the end of the day, people are choosing to work there. Now, if everyone chose not to work there because they said, oh, it's a bad work environment, well, Jimmy Fallon would have to self-reflect because he couldn't run the cameras himself. He couldn't do everything himself. So the market would take care of itself. So it's the same thing with the Ellen DeGeneres show. Like, oh, it was a toxic workplace and she was canceled and...
She seems toxic.
But then don't work there. We live in a society where you don't have to work for that show.
Let me say this. Okay, let me say this. So I did a couple of days on Rosie O'Donnell's show.
Right. Yes, you did.
And everyone said Rosie was tough.
Yes.
And I only worked there a couple of days.
Yeah.
And she put me on camera, said some nice things, which is really lovely.
Mm-hmm.
And then she came into Broadway Comedy Club
Mm-hmm.
and bumped an act and went on right before or after me.
Yeah.
And at the table, I said, oh, we've actually met before. I worked on your show. And instantly, she said to me, please tell me I was nice to you. Please tell me I was under so much pressure.
Yeah.
And that's really the gig, right? Because there's someone breathing down Jimmy Fallon's neck. Someone's breathing down Colbert's neck. Someone's breathing down these people's necks all the time. And okay, so you had a bad day. Listen, here at the club, I've had bad moments, all right? And it's because you have all these pressures on you to keep the plate spinning.
Right.
That being said, I'm going to say this to all the powers that be at ABC, NBC, CBS. TBS, is that still a thing? All of the networks, I'm saying this right now. If you hire me, you will never have this complaint because I will not give a shit if the show has a bad moment. I won't care. I will care if the sound doesn't get recorded. That's a different thing. All right. But during the show, who cares? How wrong can it go?
Right.
When I hear comedians saying, so-and-so is brilliant, so-and-so is this. No, brilliant people are in a lab right now somewhere going, how can I trick hundreds of millions of people into getting a vaccine? That's what brilliant people.
This is just an opinion.
Just
They're
an
not
opinion.
a fact.
Just an opinion.
Not facts.
Not a fact.
Not a fact.
So, I don't know. I think Fallon. By the way, one of the clips they aired, and they said he was so terrible. He had a contestant, and he made a joke because the contestant from the audience wasn't doing well with him. I saw the clip. It's perfectly fine.
Right.
But Jimmy Fallon busting some guy's chops. The guy's probably still telling the story.
Right.
Yeah, I was on Fallon. So, a lot of this is just the need. Publicists and people, it's just clickbait. I keep saying clickbait. I have to be honest with you. It got me. Eventually, it got me.
What was it?
It was a girl in a red dress. It said, her dress at the Golden Globes will be talked about for centuries. And it kept popping up and popping up. And I'm like, what? And I clicked, and it's nothing. It's nothing.
Was her dress nothing, or you just
I didn't look.
care
I had
for
to go
it?
through a bunch of. I'm not going through the slides.
Uh-huh.
Once you know it's clickbait, I don't go through it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I don't know, but that's my point. Is a lot of this is clickbait driven.
Sure.
So it's companies going, if we circulate this story about Jimmy Fallon and we can get this story some smoke, we can sell ads on it because jackasses will click. I really believe that.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah,
I believe it.
Yeah, I hear you.
So we have some big shows coming up. We have September 29th at the State Theater, which is an amazing show.
Yes, I'll be very excited. I'll be in the audience. Woo, woo.
Rishi Mathur is going to be on that show. Matt Lopes is on that show.
Yep.
Joe Matarese, Jackie Fabulous, and me. Please go get tickets at statetheater.org. It's a great night. 5 great comics, State Theater, inexpensive ticket. What a fun night. Go see that. Also, October 29th, I will be at the NJ Pack.
Yeah.
With my good friend John Bramnick.
Yep.
Doing shows there at the club. This week, Akash Singh, Troy Bond coming up. What's his face? David Koechner coming up. Great nights of comedy coming here at the club. So we do want you to go online and see all of those shows. StressFactory.com. Go to the restaurant.
Yeah, Victoria's. Come see Victoria's Chata Italiano. We just finished the menu. It's fantastic, if I do say so myself. Yeah.
It is really good.
Yeah, very good.
The drinks, the craft cocktails.
Yeah, they really do. They do a nice job there.
Yep.
Very nice job.
And up in New Brunswick, Bridgeport. This week, Troy Bond this week in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Coming up there, Damon Wayans Jr.
I love Damon Wayans Jr.
He's so nice and so funny. The whole Wayans family. Great.
Yeah, great family.
The restaurant in Bridgeport, Vicki Brand's
Gather, yeah. Nate, our chef Nate is killing it up there.
I got to tell you, the two restaurants, the food at both restaurants, they are so good.
Yeah, they are.
So let's wrap it up.
All right, good night.
See you guys again.